That note cuts straight to the heart of things, don't it? That note cuts straight to the heart of things, don't it? It ain't too late to unlock the potential of this place. The Bastion ain't gonna build itself. Well, not entirely. That note cuts straight to the heart of things, don't it? We need an awful big lost and found under the circumstances. It ain't too late to unlock the potential of this place. The Bastion ain't gonna build. The shards itself are getting harder to find. Well, not entirely. Straight to the heart of things, don't it? Not everything blew up in the calamity. Why, Colford Cauldron here blew up way ahead of its time. The cauldron boiled over some 300 years ago. They say it filled the skies with ash and the lakes ain't too late to unlock the potential. If you wanted to survive something like that, you had to learn to adapt. The shards are getting harder to find. Not everything blew up in the calamity. Why, Colford Cauldron, best to keep out of the cauldron. It's time. The cauldron boiled over some 300 years ago. They say it filled the skies with ash and the lakes. If you wanted to survive something like that, you had to learn to adapt. Shards are getting harder. It takes a certain stubborn pride to keep on living in a place like this. As for us, we learned an awful lot from Colford Cauldron. Why, Colford Cauldron, best to keep out of the cauldron. The raw power of the world fell right into our hands. Playing with the cauldron's fires became an addiction. As for us, we learned an awful lot from Cauldron. Best to keep out of the raw power right into our hands. Can't fault our people for their natural curiosity, can you? Sure, we dusted off a good many secrets out here. It's awful hot in there. Can't fault other people for their natural curiosity, but we discovered other things we're better off not knowing. The unforgiving scent of sulfurous dirt. Sure, we dusted off a good many secrets out here. Taste the air so hot it sticks to your lungs. The unforgiving scent of sulfurous dirt. All sorts of awful things crawling underfoot. Taste the air so hot it sticks to your lungs. You can cook those things, but you can't eat them. Never thought we'd find so much life in all that ash. The more ash we swept aside, the more life we found. All sorts of awful things crawling underfoot. Taste the air so hot it sticks to your lungs. You can cook those things, but you can't eat them. We kept on sifting through the cauldron's secrets anyway. Place as inhospitable as they come. Never thought we'd find so much life in all that ash. The more ash we swept aside, like we found. But still we pressed on. All sorts of After all, when we looked down inside Culprit Cauldron, we kept on sifting through the cauldron's secrets anyway. Looked down through all the smoke and flames. place is inhospitable as they come. We saw in there the heart of the world. The heart now laid bare by the calamity, but still we pressed on. After all, when we look down inside Colford culture, we kept on sifting through the culvert's secrets anyway. We had to have it. As for the kid, he just has to get that shard out of there. Too bad taking that thing woke up every last stink eye from here to Johnson Bog. Place is inhospitable as they come. Kid's thinking he's got to trek all the way back around the cauldron. We saw in there the heart of the world. The heart now laid bare by the calamity. Luckily, the cauldron cooked up a little shortcut for him. Sure, it ain't the most convenient path. We had to have it. As for the kid, he just has to get that shard out of there. Too bad taking that thing woke up every last stink eye from here to Johnson Bog. Kid's thinking he's got to trek all the way back around the corner. We saw it there, the heart. Luckily, the cauldron cooked up the biggest stink eye he's ever seen's waiting for him on the other side. Pops open on him like a pimple on a school day. Sure, it ain't the most convenient path. Where there's one stink eye, there's always more. Too bad taking that thing woke up every last stink eye from here to Johnson Bog. The cauldron's tenants all gather up to bid the kid a fond farewell. The kid don't shed any tears for him though. Biggest stink eye he's ever seen's waiting for him on the other side. Pops open on him like a pimple on a school day. Sure, it ain't the most convenient path. But where there's one stink eye, there's always more. Cauldron's tenants all gather up to bid the kid a fond farewell. The kid don't shed any tears for him. With a good spyglass, you can still see the cauldron from the city, but all the fires died out. There's nothing left of it. Biggest stink eye he's ever seen's waiting for him on the other side. He comes back looking like the inside of a chimney. The shard works like a charm. You can hear the monument's heartbeat again. Where there's one stink eye, there's always more. Seems the gods recommended this place to all their friends. The culture, a still life of old unwanted keepsakes. The marshals kept the city's peace. They can rest easy now. With a good spyglass, you can still see the cauldron from the city, but all the fires died out. There's nothing left of it. Seems Zia's cooking got the best of him. Biggest stink eye he's ever seen. He comes back looking like the inside of a chimney. shard works like a charm. That's the way to make every shard count. Seems the gods recommended this place to all their. We spotted a pecker carrying a shard to Mount the culture. A still life of old unwanted keepsakes. The marshals kept the city's peace. They can rest easy now. With a good spyglass, you can still see the cauldron from the city. But all the fires died out. There's nothing left of it. Seems Zia's cooking got the best of him. Welcome to Grady Incinerator, home of the hottest wings east of Ceylondia. The shard works like a charm. That's the way to make every shard count. Seems the gods recommended this place to all their. We spotted a pecker carrying a shard to Mount the culture. A still life of old unwanted keepsakes. The marshals kept the city's peace. They can rest easy now. With a good spyglass, you can still see the cauldron from the city. But all the fires died out. There's nothing left of it. Seems Zia's cooking got the best of him. Welcome to Grady Incinerator, home of the hottest wings east of Ceylondia. The shard works like a charm. That's the way to make every shard count. In all seriousness, the incinerator was a dump, and it had a problem with peckers. We spotted a pecker carrying a shard. Blasted things would swoop in and spread trash all around, until we started using fire. Kept the city's peace. They can rest easy. Seems he is cooking the best of it. We couldn't just torch them all at once. We had to use restraint. The peckers were willing to fight tooth and nail for all that trash. In all seriousness, the incinerator was done. Blasted things would swoop in and spread trash all around until we started using fire. We couldn't just torch them all at once. You'd almost think those peckers like getting cooked. The peckers were willing to fight tooth and nail for all that trash. In all seriousness, the incinerator was done. Blasted things would swoop in and spread trash all around until we started using fire. We couldn't just torch them all at once. You'd almost think those peckers like getting cooked. The peckers were willing to fight tooth and nail for all. Even the army never issued carbines in such fine shape. In all seriousness, the incinerator can't rightly call Mount Zan the mountain anymore. There's no more mountains now. There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go. So they figure they'll hold out right here, on a slab of mountain the Calamity forgot. If the army never issued carbines in such fine shape. Can't rightly call Mount Zion a mountain anymore. There's no more mountains now. There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go. So they figure they'll hold out right here, on a slab of mountain the Calamity forgot. If the army never issued carbines in such fine shape. There's no place left for the beasts of the wild to go. Those beasts been hoarding all the valuables they could find. So they figure they'll hold out right here, on a slab of mountain the Calamity forgot. If the army never issued carbines in such fine shape. We only found their little lair because they found themselves a little shard. Those beasts been hoarding all the valuables they can find. I figure they'll hold out. It's a delicate situation. Little later, because they found themselves a little show. The creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own. It's a delicate situation. Little later, because they found themselves a little show. The creatures of the wild, they've been building a bastion of their own. Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean. Besides, we have to take back what's ours. Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean. What the city left behind, those beasts took for themselves. Besides, we have to take back what's ours. Takes a lot of convincing, and our mortars have to do the talking. Look at it this way. It's either them or us. But if we win, they win too. Our Bastion is everybody's game, not just ours. Best thing we can do for those beasts right now is put them down quick and clean. What the city left behind, those beasts took for themselves. Besides, we have to take back what's ours. Takes a lot of convincing, and our mortars have to do the talking. Unfortunately, there's no explaining that to a simple beast. Look at it this way. It's either them or us. Those beasts have been hard at work fixing up the place. Our Bastion is everybody's game, not just ours. They've rounded up their survivors, just like we have. Those beasts took for themselves. Takes a lot of convincing, and our mortars have to do the talking. Unfortunately, there's no explaining that to a simple beast. They've been searching for cores and shards, just like we have. Hard at work fixing up their place. Our Bastion is everybody's game, not just ours. They've rounded up their survivors, just like we have. Beasts took for themselves. Maybe they've thought about turning back, just like we have. They've been searching for cores and shards, just like we have. We just really need their shard. Kid got it fair and square. That's the way. done what's best for him. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll all be better off once the Bastion is complete. That's the way. The monument's getting better. Zolf sure did a number on it, though. Back, just like we have. The arsenal's complete, in case we need protection. Really need their shard. He's done what's best for us. That's some heavy-duty hardware, don't you? Not exactly the most delicate pairing. Just a couple shards left. The quarry's gotta have one, right? We'll all be better off once the Bastion is complete. Imagine everything you need to build a city like Zealandia. It takes hard work and planning, and it also takes a burstone quarry. The monument's getting better. Sure that the Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. We bought the whole place from the Ura on the cheap. Same goes for the natives. Rattletails. Why would the Ura put up with those pests? Not exactly the most delicate pairing. Just a couple shards left. The quarry's gotta have one, right? We'll all be better off. Rattletails ain't the worst of it either, but more about that in a little bit. Imagine the quarry came with a lifetime supply of windbags. Windbags smaller than the naked eye can see, are nested in those rocks. It also takes burst and water. It's getting better. The Ura tunnels beneath the quarry must have softened the blow from the calamity. But there was even more to it than that. We bought the whole place from the Ura on the cheap. Not only are these rocks a source of life, rattletails. We found that the oldest ones remember things. Why would the Ura put up with exactly the just a couple shots left. Quarry's gotta have one, right? Rattletails ain't the worst of it either, but more about that in a little bit. Imagine the quarry came with a lifetime. They're recording everything, all the time. Windbags, taking it all in. Nested in the rocks. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Not only are these rocks a source of life, we found that the oldest one, keeping the quarry free from pests, turned out to be a problem. Rattletails kept tunneling in to snack on windbags. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. They're recording everything, all the time. Even Stink Eyes started taking root in here. No wonder all those beasts were drawn to the quarry. The rocks were calling them. Not only are these rocks the source of life, they found that the oldest one, keeping the quarry free from pests, turned out to be a problem. Rattletails kept tunneling in. Windbags tended to the rocks, so we had to keep the rattletails at bay. Without those windbags, the quarry might not have its special qualities. stink eyes started taking root here. Rattletails filled the place with holes. Quarry's secrets ain't exactly obvious. Now, why would the Ura sell off such a fascinating place? The Ura always were a superstitious lot. Might be the gods told him the quarry's bad news. The quarry's secrets ain't exactly obvious. On top of that, you know the Ura hated anything above ground. Might be the gods told him the quarry's bad. Might be the quarry just got too much sunshine for their liking. In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend. Those rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen. On top of that, you know the Ura hated anything above ground. Might be the gods told him the quarry's bad. The largest quarry just got too much sunshine. Single core could keep the lights on in an entire city district. The smaller ones, we call them shards. In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend. Those rocks, all polished to a mirror sheen. shard's got a fraction of the core's power, enough to fuel a voyage to the motherland. The largest quarries has got 2 such cores. A single core could keep the lights on in an entire city district. Hard times in the quarry these days. Smaller ones, we call them shards. In any case, it's fair to say the quarry was a godsend. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? That honor goes to a beast we took to Colin, Sir Lunky. Shard's got a fraction of the core. Massive things stomp many of you boys. We just couldn't get rid of him. The only thing harder than the rocks in Bastion quarry is Sir Lunky's head. You never could get stubborn old Lunky to leave the quarry. Hard times. When the kid hears a voice calling from down the hall, "Are you all right?" it says. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? It's him. That honor goes to I've come to warn you, Colin, he says. Sir Lunky. The Bastion is under siege. We just couldn't let it fall. You should not. The only thing harder than the rocks in Bastion quarry is Sir Lunky's head. Kid hears him. They ain't about to be upturned. If that's the way it is, he says, then I hear stop you calling from down the hall. "Are you all right?" it says. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? It's him. That honor goes to I've come to warn you, Colin, he says. Sir Lunky. The Bastion is under siege. We just couldn't let it fall. You should not. The only thing harder than the rocks in Bastion quarry is Sir Lunky's head. Kid hears him. They ain't about to be upturned. You leave the quarry. If that's the way it is, he says, then I hear stop you calling from down the hall. "Are you all right?" it says. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? It's him. That honor goes I've come to warn you, Colin, he says. Sir Lunky. The Bastion is under siege. We just couldn't let it fall. You should not. The only thing harder than the rocks in Bastion quarry is Sir Lunky's head. Kid hears him. They ain't about to be upturned. You leave the quarry. If that's the way it is, he says, then I hear stop you calling from down the hall. "Are you all right?" it says. Remember how I said rattletails ain't the worst thing in the quarry? It's him. That honor goes I've come to warn you, Colin, he says. Sir Lunky. The Bastion is under siege. We just couldn't let it Because my countrymen will. Say what you will about Zulf, but he's a man of his word. His countrymen don't much care for pleasantries, though. Too bad for that. Zulf showed him the way here, and here they came to take revenge because my countrymen will. They got inside the Bastion and shut the door. Kid's gotta go in through the back. Say what you will about Zulf, but he's a man of his word. I should have told him sooner about all this. To make matters worse, it seems the Ura took the girl. Unfortunately, they broke in, and they started digging their holes. Something wrong sprung out of those holes, and it's eating away at this place. We tried to stop them, but we needed help. Our little squirt, he don't make it. The Ura think they got him. They're wrong. Somehow, some way, he sends those Ura packing. Problem is, it didn't matter. Zulf's plan worked. We find each other as the dust settles. Then I tell him why the Ura came. To get us back. For the calamity. It was Ceylandia's master plan to wipe the Ura out. But part of that plan backfired, didn't it? If only Zulf knew the whole story. The shards can put this disease in remission, but there's only one cure. We need to finish what we started. Been meaning to put up some guardrails. Think the gods are gonna help? The memorial may be finished, but our part is far from over. Now all we need is one last shard. To master the musket, you gotta get rid of the recoil. Bold brandy is thicker than paint. Makes your skin feel as tough as knife bark. The Ura swooped down from the east. At least now we know the way. One last shard. It's all we need to put this mess behind us. And mother, what a mess it is. A mess like that could have only been made by hand. Zolf said the calamity failed, and he's right. The Uras stand as living proof of that. At the heart of the calamity was a simple idea. We never wanted to go to war again. Wanted to rule it out. Put a lot of folks against that problem. Scientists, soldiers, spies, even me. We sought solutions far beyond the city. We traveled near as far as the kid's going right now. Most of our efforts didn't bear fruit. Then there was a breakthrough, but it didn't come from one of our people. Came from an Ura, a brilliant young scientist named Ven. Ven worked for the Mancers, the sharpest knives in the city's drawer. With his help, the Mancers devised a way to seal the Ura tunnel shut in a flash. Just like that, every last Ura living in the Tassel terminals will be gone. This discovery was never to be used, they said, except as a last resort. But Ven didn't like being manipulated. He had plans of his own. He sabotaged the Mancers' little science project, set it to blow up in their faces. Imagine how Ven must have felt when they finally made him pull that trigger. But remember, the Bastion can fix everything. We just need that shard. Too bad the Ura ain't exactly been willing to collaborate on that front. For now, Kid had little choice but to pick up where the Calamity left off. First things first, though, there's someone we figured needed rescuing. Zia. The Ura fell back, no doubt planning the next move, but we knew ours already. That mortar's gonna leave a lasting impression. It's no longer a weapon, it's a precision instrument. At least it won't get cold around here with that thing around. There's something we had to do before going after that last shard. Well, now it's personal, ain't it? It's personal for him, and it's personal for me. He finds his moment to strike. They never saw him coming. He gets his hands on the care package I sent him. It's a little something I've been fixing up in my spare time. The Ura found a way to keep the calamity from spreading through Sultan's Hollow. They got their own security and everything. Pretty fancy. Still, they ain't used to having visitors around. They've got these conductors that are all what's keeping the place together. Break enough of those things and the calamity rocks slink back into the ground. Those rocks are like tumors, the same kind the Ura planted in the Bastion. Well, the Ura must be in a panic right about now. They even sick their little rattletail pets on the kid. Those rodents are just a bump in the road. Kid returns their greeting tenfold. Kid's picking the whole place apart, piece by piece. By now, every Ura from here to the terminals must know he's in town. Most of the Ura's conductors are squared away in the middle of the hollow. They're easy targets. Those calamity rocks must be eating that place apart from the inside. The Ura keep hanging on to their barricade. After all, their homeland's not much farther. Some of them are downright bewildered by what's happening. Maybe they know they've lost this, lost to a kid. They underestimated us, had us pegged all wrong. Yes, our people caused the calamity, but here we are trying to fix it. Shame the opportunity for civilized discourse is over. It's not the time to get reckless. Did the Ura really think we just turn around and walk away? Suppose old Zolf should have got to know us better. Maybe I should have trusted him, told him everything I knew. Zolf, the Ura, they have every reason to be angry. Beyond angry. But when this is all over, it'll all be water under the bridge. As the hour grows desperate, the Ura bring out their big guns. There's nothing standing in his way no more. He sees the Tazzle terminals loom large on the horizon. Way out there on the edge of the world, that's where he finally finds you. But it ain't like Prosper Bluff this time. Ain't nothing for this gal to sing about now. Zia, you weren't kidnapped. No, ma'am. You just had to see what happened to the Ura. To your own people. You had to see if everything Zolf wrote to you was true. The country, she's all to pieces now, but still looking good. Once the kid gets that last shard from Zolf, it'll all be over.